Geese are noisy. Right. New camera day today, so just got to check everything's alright. He says. You got the audio?
Geese are noisy.
Yes. Right, it's super sunny. I put some sun cream on today. Welcome to today's live stream. I'm at Gold Valley Lakes today. I'm on the Middle Lake. I've drawn peg 94. We've got 8 minutes to go, and I'm looking forward to this. There's a wind blowing from my left to right. There's a few fish moving on the top, which I think might disappear when we start fishing. But I'll just quickly run through the rigs, and then we'll be ready to go, I think. Firstly, Pellet Waggler. I think I might need to use this today. 8 pound mainline Daiwa ST. I've got just a 7 gram Carp balsa float on there. I've got a 1 meter hook length down to a size 12. That's a Pellet Waggler hook from Guru with a little bait band. I might need that today. To go with that, I have a trusty bomb rod, 3/4 of an ounce bomb, 8 pound ST, free running, you should say, a Guru bead, and then a 12-inch 019 hook length to a size 12 QM1 with a bait band. I've 8mm pellets on both of those. And then what I think I need to do is I'm going to start on the pole line first and then feed on the bomb line. So I've got a couple of pole rigs set up. This first one is to fish short, Top Kit Plus One. It's an RW 4B12. That's white hydro 017 down to 013 and a size 18 SLWG with a bait band. I'm going to fish 6mm pellets on that with some white crows in the pot. I've got the same for Top Kit Plus 2, and then I've got 2 other rigs. Not very exciting difference really. I've got a 4B14 version to fish out at 11 meters. I think today I might need to also fire some pellets in, so on the pole line, so we'll see. Same again though, white hydro. I've got a couple of 8 back shots, 017, and I've got a bulk 1 dropper, and 013 again, SLWG with a bait band. And then I've got an edge rig. Move my pole. I've got an edge. Oh, that's not an edge rig, is it? I'll edit that out for the video. There it is. And I've got an edge rig for down the left hand side. No messing about today. Black hydro, excuse me, black hydro, 021, 0.4 float, down to an 019 hook length, size 14 MWG. And it's going to go down that left hand side. And that's what, 2 foot deep? I'm going to fish that with corn and ground bait, because there are some big carp in here. In terms of tactics for the day, I'm going to start short on micros and pellets. I'm going to use that time while I'm on that line to feed the bomb line. I'm hopefully going to catch a load of fish on the bomb. If they come up in the water, I'm going to catch them on the Waggler. And if the F1s drift out from the short line, I've got Top Kit Plus 1 to start. Then I can chase them to Top Kit Plus 2. And then I can chase them all the way to 11 meters should I need to. That's the plan. That's the plan. Morning John, morning Terry. Peg 94 on Gold today, Middle Lake today. There's 9 of us fishing, I think. Not many. We've got the whole lake. So I've got like 3 pegs, 3 empty pegs till the next angle to my left, and I've got about the same to my right. Got loads of, I don't catch a load of fish today. I need to have a little rethink, unless they're bulked up down the ends, and that's what my excuse will be. And there are some spaces where the fish could back off into sort of water where they can't sort of be pressured actually, because there's so many empty pegs, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to this. Side tray, quickly go over that. It's pretty simple today. I've got some micros for the short line, 8 mils for the pellet line, bomb line, 6 mils on the hook. I've got some other 8 mils for hookers. I've got a couple of cans of corn, which I got in the shop this morning for going down the edge. Oh, and I've got some wafters of various shapes and sizes, but I don't think I'll need those. Fingers crossed I don't. So we've got 4 minutes. Not long. I've got geese trampling around my peg today. It's a little bit awkward. I was trying to keep my gear safe and them safe as well. Oh, and I've got a bag of... What have I got a bag? A bag of Sonia baits, margin carp for down the edge. Heavy ground bait. I want to put it in loose. I want it to just drop to the bottom. Fish a load of corn over the top. Hopefully catch myself some edge monsters. Because they are up to £18 now recorded in here. For that reason I've picked for a slightly bigger landing net, but that probably means I'll be trying to get fish out of it, but should be good. Morning, Martin. Just going to start with micros in the pot. Now I think what I'm going to do, if I can organise my side tray a little bit better, when I hook a fish I'm going to chuck a couple of 6 mils. If I can organise my side tray better. I'll just grab them. It's going to be bright and sunny today. I might not be able to see everything you type. Morning, Darren. Good to see you. I've got a couple of catapults. Big one, orange one for firing the 8 mils. I could probably fire them to the far bank of Middle Lake with this. And then I've got another catapult. You see I've cut it down and I've written number 5 on it, which means, I can't remember. I should have written on it, good for 11 metres, 13 metres, something like that. I think my number 5 is good for, should be good for these pellets at 11 metres, should be good. If not, I've got more catapults. I'm looking for a nice day today, catch a few fish, have a nice stream, and yeah, catch a few fish. Julian is also streaming today, I think. I think Julian's the only other match angler that I know. He's waving at me now. I think he's the only other match angler that live streams matches. And his channel, I think, is called Paste for the Win, something like that, or Paste for Win, something along those lines. So he will also be live, I suspect, today. So yeah, 2 anglers that I know of that live stream matches. I don't mean like the odd bit on TikTok, but full matches. Julian and we both fishing at the same venue. Morning, Gary. Right, we've got 1 minute. That's the all in. Let's see. Start my stopwatch, I think. And let's just see how we get on. The F1s are getting bigger and bigger in here now, Middle Lake. Again, plenty of food. So you get a lot of carp anglers that sort of spill over from Gold Lake onto Middle when it's busy, and then spodding and all sorts of stuff. So there's plenty of bait going in this lake, and the fish are getting bigger and bigger. which is why I think the carp are back up to £18 in here already. So yeah, let's see if I can try and discipline myself as to think I'm fishing with meat today. When I get a bite, I'll have to bring it back in or catch a fish. Let's see if I can launch a couple of 6 mils in that direction. There was none of this there's none of this wind when I was setting up, but into a fish. I reckon they're £3 a piece. Yeah, I was thinking about setting up 2 nets today, landing nets that is, one, you know, small one for the F1s that are like £3, but then there's also like £5 fish in here, £10 fish in here, £15 fish in here. So I was like, it's gonna have to be 2 nets, but then I thought I'd just try the bigger one. It just means I have to go fishing in the net to get the fish, so I need to just think about that a little bit more today. But good start, fish in the net. See if we get another one. a bite. So it's a new camera today, just if anyone watched that third day of the Spring Spectacular at Tunnel Barn Farm, I managed to unusually get water in the camera, and I managed to fuse some circuits. So I've had to retire one of my GoPros, and now this is the upgrade for it. But first time it's happened in 3 years, and I've fished in some really bad rain, so not too bad, but slightly annoying. So there may be a few issues today. I might drop out, I don't know. All the settings look good, but you never really know until you get out and use it. I'm just staring at my float at the moment and not my phone, so if there's anyone got any questions about the setup, or you missed the start, you know, just ask other people in the channel. They'll let you know what my plan was for the day, I'm sure. And failing that, just send me a message later and I'll let you know anything about my rig or my shotting pattern or float choice, that type of stuff. Right, I had a bite. Oh, chuck that a bit far. Just going to chuck a couple of pellets instead of refilling that pot. Sometimes I feel that when I fish micros here, the fish can come in and make a right mess. Let's just see if I can just maybe keep some fish in the peg with a couple of 6mm. I'll see if I can get a quick extra bite, but maybe not. Just looking for signs of movement on the top of the water when I put those, fire those 8mm in. I know there's enough carp, and those F1s are getting big now, and I suspect that through this year I might find myself fishing the Pellet Waggler more and more on this lake. Those fish get bigger and more competitive, and they just come up to intercept the bait. I did come fishing the other week and fish the other bank, and I brought my son. We're just going to fish down the left-hand edge. I decided we just brought a rod and a pole float rig on it, a running line as I would call it, and we're catching some huge F1s down the edge. No carp, but 3-4 pound F1s quite often. Just going to half fill that pot with 6 mils and then cap it with some micros. Okay, so 10 minutes in, one fish, couple of bites, a few indications. No need to change the plan. The plan stays as fish short here for an hour or so while I feed up the bomb line and then go on the bomb, but we'll sort of take it, you know, every sort of 10 minutes at a time and sort of revisit the plan. I had the first fish after about 3 minutes, so let's see. I've got a lot of water today. I need to give the fish some time to realise that there's someone fishing here and homing on the smell of that pellets, but equally I don't want to leave it too long fishing a line that's, you know, not like it's doing anything when I've got other options, you know. The dilemmas of match fishing. Come on, F1s, there can't just be one. Oh, I nearly took that one on. There can't just be one fish there prepared to eat some food today. Morning all, if you just joined. You catch me fishing the open match today at Gold Valley on the Middle Lake. It's not as furious and frantic as I wanted it to be. Let's see though. I think what I'll do is I'll give it another 5 minutes or so, and then I'll just a little indication. Then as I say, I was going to give it another 5 minutes and then push out to top kit +2 and see if they just want to sit further away. This is still on the slope, it's not at the bottom of the lake. Whilst I'm fishing on the bottom, the lake is still sloping away from me, and then at top kit +2 it's on the bottom. What I mean is like the lake's leveled out, and then 13 meters or 11 meters it's just a couple of inches deeper. Maybe not even that actually. Just seems to be that I wait for 4-ish minutes and I'll get an indication. It just feels more like a liner. Target weight today, I want to shoot for £100 today. I think that's probably what's going to win it. There's plenty of room. I expect people to catch. Okay, let's see if I've got to chase them out. Watching those pellets, looking for any signs of fish taking them in the water or up in the water. Let's just see if they're further out. Just adjusted that rig. When I plumbed it up, everything was nice, and then as soon as I start fishing, the float's going under, so I've just taken a number 10 off that was down on the hook length, and then just pulled a number 9 down to use that as my dropper. So let's just have a look. 25 minutes in, one fish and a few indications. I'd say bites, might be liners. Not hooked anything or felt anything when I've struck, so could just as easily be a 10-pound carp swimming through, or an F1 just blowing the bait around. But I am making this choice now to go a little bit further and see if they want to be there. I've gone 20 minutes without another fish, so I thought that was worth it. I think I failed at that one, but that was a bite. Just had the feeling that was failed, so I've just caught one of those little worms. I don't think that pulled the float under. There's more indications there, whether they're liners again. Sure, I'm just having a little think about it. I've just put in 2 little pots of micros, which actually are quite a lot of micros when you think about it. But these fish are at the stage now where I do think that they will be just sort of slurping that amount of bait up really quickly. Hmm. 20 miles an hour today. No, not 20 miles an hour. 10 miles an hour today. It'll get up to. So that's what I saw on the forecast. I think it's Try and decide whether it's liners because they're up in the water. Cheers, Bree. Liners because they're up in the water, or if it's something else. But that was a bream. Maybe it's just a few skimmers down there then. Time check, 25.2 though, one fish, not looking good. Now I have got a full selection of shallow kits behind me, although they're all rigged up to fish maggots and not pellets, but it might be a case that I could fish one of those more traditional style shallow rigs, set it 3/4 depth and just change that hook length and have a look. Let's give it a little bit longer. I think what I'll do is if I end up on the bomb line in 20 minutes, then I'll put a load of pellets on that 11-metre line first and then go over on it. And then while I'm on the bomb line, I can also feed that 11-metre line. But I was hoping for a better start with F1s here to begin with. If you're just tuning in, I had a F1 after 3 minutes, top kit +1. Then a bunch of indications for 15 minutes, little dinks and stuff. A few odd bites, struck, no fish. And then I've gone out to top kit +1. Had a couple of bites, no fish. Then I've had a skimmer come flying out of the water and ping the rig back. But it doesn't seem to be right now, if that makes sense. I am prepared to feed that line though, and go and sit on the bomb and also feed the long pole line in case they want to be sitting out there. So I'm just thinking 20 minutes time I could be feeding, I go back to feeding top kit +1, pole line and bomb line. I want to catch this here though. That's what I want. in the mouth, that's what I want. So yeah, I've just seen that comment from Martin. If you're enjoying it, then yeah, please do hit the like button. It gives the stream some more visibility, puts it in front of more people. And who wants to deny those people the chance to watch some live match fishing today? So where I get a bite relatively quickly after I've fed that pole pot, I do get the feeling that that's fish coming up in the water to intercept those pellets. But I'm putting my pole rig straight over the top and it's just fins, and that's why I'm getting a liner. Now that said, do I need to go and get a shallow kit out? The reason I didn't bring a load of maggot today, I do have maggot from a session earlier in the week, but I was reluctant to bring it today because there's a lot of roach in the venue in this lake, and whilst you might not catch them in the winter when you want to, they do show in the summer. So you can fire a lot of maggot out and not catch a lot of quality stamped fish. You can end up with a lot of silvers. So I thought I'd have a pellet approach today. But as always, I'm just trying to work out what's going on in my peg. And what it feels like is they could be off the bottom. I'm putting that pole pot in, those pellets are dropping down, those 2 mils. The fish are coming in to intercept them off the bottom. I'm getting a liner, strike, no bite. Sit here for a load of time with no more bites. I'm just slightly unsure though, because well, I'm going to find out if I try, aren't I? Right, hopefully I won't lose connection. Just got to go back here. I wasn't expecting this to be the case today, but right. Put a couple of number 10s on that. It's not set up, this float and rig. Right, let's get smallish. Alright, let's just put that on. See what happens. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes. Either get a bite and they're up in the water and it works, or they're not. I can decide and rule it out pretty quick. Used to fish for carp in this lake, flicking a rig over, just firing in 6mm all day long. I do wonder how far away we are from doing that again here. And I reckon if it's going to get dragged under, it's going to happen pretty quick. one of them look slightly deeper. Alright, so I think the answer is no. They're not up in the water going crazy. I think I would have had an instant reaction to that if they were. Alright, didn't take long to find out. I'm putting mostly 6mm in that pot this time. Same again though, got that liner. I wonder if it's maybe that, you know, that clump of 2mm going down is what's attracting them, and then they're going up off that. I don't know. Maybe just old man reactions. What do you think, chat? What's going on in my peg? The feed with the pot, I can get I'll get a bite. I think it's a liner. Tried with a shallower rig. Tried it at a couple of depths, no indications on it at all. Thrown some pellets in. Turn the rig over. What's going on? Where are these fish and what are they doing? A bunch of slimy skimmers just messing me about. do we think? Get a shadow kit out. I think maybe that was before I did it. Just one on the bottom, hooked in the mouth, no problem. I'm looking forward to going on that bomb. Question is, in how long? Is that a bite? I think that's got mine says foul looks. That went down and then came back up, so I suspect there's not a fish on the end. Well, there is a fish on the end. I suspect it's not hooked where I want to be hooking it. Not hooked where I want to hook it. I can tell that. Feeling it was then. I wondered if it was the hook was. It's a good F1. The hook was wrapped round it. The line was wrapped round the fish. Oh, it is up to the mouth. Well, there you know. So, here we have, usual situation. just as I think it's time to go, I timed it to go somewhere else. I'm not going to move, I'm going to stay on this line. Obviously not coming off feeding fish. Now I've started to catch a few. So, get that in. Still watching those pellets as they go in on that long line. Let's give an update. So, where are we? Hour in. I've got £10 on the clicker. I had £3 pretty quick, 3 minutes for the first fish, and then I sat quite a long time with a lot of indications on Top Kit +1. I've gone out to Top Kit +2, a few indications, and then I've had a couple of fish. I'm feeding the bomb line. The plan was that I would go on it after an hour, but just started catching some F1s on this longer pole line. And what I did say at the morning, at the beginning of the match, was I've got a lot of room today and it might take some time to get an instant response from these fish. It doesn't really make sense, time for instant response, but a lot of spare pegs. It might just take a little bit of time to get some fish in my peg. But these F1s are, you know, upper to £3 a piece, I would say. Probably, I think that's the smallest one I've had now. Stand up, I need to pull more on that puller bung, I think. Yeah, so maybe they've just started to turn up. Trying to put in more 6mm now than micros. Got myself covered in water now. Cheers, fish. Yeah, probably the smallest one I've had. Well, that's still £2. So whilst I really want to catch some fish on the bomb, I'll stay here for a second. If you're new to the channel, then welcome in. My name's Graham and my channel is predominantly about live streaming match fishing, the decisions that I make, the fish that I catch, and you know, how the session pans out, goods and bads, and the drama and the excitement. So welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, maybe you want to hit that subscribe button. It's a free way to support the channel and you can find your way back pretty easily. And if it is the live streams you want, just hit that notification button too, so you do get a notification when I go live and upload a video. I make videos generally out of all of the matches that I fish, unless it's the winter and I've had 3 blanks in a row, and then I lose a little bit of a little bit of energy for doing it. But yeah, so welcome if it's your first time here, and if you're returning back, then you know, as always, welcome back. I really appreciate the support, and if you haven't got the notifications on but you're subscribed, then sometimes that's why people say to me they didn't know I was gone live, but it's because they've hit subscribe but not the notifications. So feel free to just unsubscribe and then resubscribe and turn the notifications on. It's the little bell icon. in a few weeks' time I've got another, I say a few weeks, end of July or middle of July, Pole Masters at Tunnel Barn Farm. I'm really looking forward to that. I sorted out a load of shallow kits for it, feeling confident about it. My rigs are all prepped weeks and weeks and weeks in advance now for that festival, and I'm going to make my bait order today with Dennis here in the shop at Gold, and he supplies all my casters, so I'm looking forward to that. And then hopefully I can stream that as well and get some good draws and get myself on House Extension and New and be able to show you all that pan out live too. So anyway, so yeah, so welcome in if you're just joining, and welcome back if you're a returner. I might have to just check that bomb line anyway. Don't know. I'm itching to get on that bomb. I fished a match here back end of last year. I think I called the title Carp and F1s on Middle Lake, something like that. And it might have been in this peg, or very close to here anyway. It was this bank in the middle of the lake, and I had a great day catching some F1 short to start, and then carp long on the bomb, and then a couple of carp down the edge. I would like that to sort of repeat today. Let's see. Alright, that's 10 minutes. A couple more indications, no fish. I set it on the drop, I looked at it, I think. I sense I'm going to hook a carp in a minute. Just throwing those 6 mils, I've just got that feeling that I'm making a bit of noise. And it's not going to be long until a carp swims through the peg. Which I don't mind. I'm fishing 011 to 013, pink hydro. Quite happy getting double figure carp out on that. Shouldn't be a problem, but just need to calm down a little bit, throwing bait, going a bit nuts, getting excited. Just trying to be patient, not get too crazy with micros in the peg. I'm not ever sure that it helps if I put too many in. Just sit here patiently for my bite. I was saying that, I think I've waited long enough. Just make sure it's mostly 6 mils. Right, we're going to time it out. I've got 5 minutes to catch a fish. And if I don't, then I'm going to chuck the bomb out. seem like I'm on a sponsored silence for 5 minutes. Just watching the float. Everyone else is like, we're going to get a cup of tea then while you wait for him to chuck the bomb out. Come on, fish. So as I said, if I end up on the 5 minutes, no fish, as I get a bite, and that elastic is, oh, that's foul looked. Is that foul looked? It's certainly unhappy, that's for sure. There's a lot of elastic out there. Off of a short kit. Fish was foul looked under its right, still got a minute and a half. Just shut it up, just slightly, maybe inch, maybe something like that. It's a shame after that I didn't get that fish in, but as I say, it was foul looked under the fin. That's why it goes off so crazy. But there's another fish on. Maybe they're scared of this 5 minute deadline that I've put on them. Oh, hello. Right, stopwatch is on again, 5 minutes. Click it for 3. I don't know if they're 2.5 or 3, but they're, ouch, they're definitely somewhere between the two. They're quite solid. How am I getting on? Hour and a half in, £17 on the clicker. Not gone on the bomb line, catching a few fish. Top kit +2, having gone out from top kit +1 after 30 odd minutes. But yeah, plenty of 8mm pellets going on the bomb line, and just trying to chuck a couple of 6mm on the spot when I get a fish, which isn't too hard, and feed mostly 6mm in the pot, just capped off with some 2mm. And because I'm over my sort of hour deadline for the bomb line now, I'm trying to just think to myself, I've got to catch a fish in 5 minutes. Because that'd be £18 an hour if they're £3 each. Is that right? No, it's not right. No, it's loads more. Maths, Graham. It's £60 an hour every fish every 5 minutes. It feels like if I don't get a bite within the first 30 seconds, as those pellets are dropping down, which I think was generally liners before, bite comes at about 2-minute mark. Well, I think it's definitely working better since I started putting more 6mm in that pot, and I shut it up that inch. So yeah, I don't know how many 6mm that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2mm, 6mm, sorry, 8 6mm, which is like 3/4 of the pot, and then just some 2mm on the top to stop them from bouncing out. Start to finish, that was 2 minutes and 40 seconds for that £3 fish. I'm jumping around on my chair quite a lot. What I'm doing is I'm trying to fish with a longer line on the pole, so it's more stable, but it means I can turn around and be more front on. I can just hold the pole with one arm on my right leg, but my tendency is always to turn to the right and then balance the weight, but it's not bad. Hopefully it gives you a slightly better camera shot. When I'm fishing long pole, I change the, I've got a different adapter for the chest mount I'm wearing, and I'm able to pull it round to the left, so even though I sit to the right you get a good view. But I'm just trying to do this so you get a little bit less. I'm watching Graham's forearms. A little bit more, you know, lake and action. Just a bunch of bubbles just came up in my peg. Just chuck in 2 6mm or 3 6mm when I get a fish. For the old F1, I've got to put on more sections. Just hold the pole low. Take it easy. Nicely done. Thought it was a bigger carp, but still happy nonetheless. Just need to just sort that bit of section out. I've got a road behind me and there's a lot of traffic. So, okay, top to bottom, £4 or £3 or whatever it was, but 4 minutes on the stopwatch. So it's quite a good pace. Just clicked 4 for that. So that puts me to £24. I feel like missed that bite, despite the bad half an hour type thing. That's not too bad. And now I've just gone and chucked a load of bait to the left and I'm not fishing with feed, so I'm gonna have to refeed that. That's not what I want to do. That's bad angling, Graham. I'll just do half a pot. The whole idea is hook a fish, feed. Doesn't have to be spot on, just in the area, and then when you go back over with the pot, you're then obviously concentrating the fish to exactly where you're fishing. But if I go and throw bait after a bite and it's nowhere near the float, it's pointless. I'm just going to drag fish away from where I am. Things like that can cost me, but I'm trying to think about it more and more these days. I should never have thrown the bait. I've missed the bite. I should have just gone straight back in. And failing that, I should have just just repeated the process, reset the trap. But anyway. Yeah, I expect to get carp here, not a problem. But the match was really, if I thought about the match, it was going to be hour in front of me, short pole. I was going to go on the bomb, catch some fish there. That was going to get a bit ropey. I might catch a couple long. And then back on the bomb, feed the pole edge line for the last half with an hour to go, and then go on it with 30 minutes to go, or if I saw a fish quicker. That was the sort of plan. Now I'm stuck on the pole line. I've not progressed onto the bomb line, but there's fish here, so if I can keep the catch rate up, I might never even get to the bomb line. May never even get there. Definitely didn't want to be short though, that was for certain. This Top Kit Plus 2 line is right on the bottom of the shelf. This is the slope, I should say. It's not a shelf, it's a slope. So just where it slopes down to be the deepest part is where I'm fishing. And then if I go out to 11 meters, it's only 2 inches deeper. I just know there's going to be a load of fish on that bomb line. It just might not be any better than the fish I'm catching here. So we're staying here for the moment. I'm just happy to stick with this 5-minute rule, you know. If I can catch one of these F1s every 5 minutes, 12 fish an hour, £36 an hour. Thank you very much. They're up at £2 to £3 each, in my mind. even if they're £2 each, then 3, 6, 9, 12, that's still £24 an hour. That's still £120 for the match. Now I have lost 45 minutes, but you know, if I come and fish the Middle Lake in the next couple of weeks, I just start on this line. I won't start short, I just start on this line. So I've had that bite after a minute, so I've just reset the rig. I've not refed. I think refeeding's the wrong thing to do. But I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes, I'll sit here for 3 minutes. So I'll give it another 2. Hopefully I get another bite, another fish, he says. And I'm just going to keep talking now until the fish drags that float under and I can just lift into it. That's the plan. And it will just convince me and certify that it was the right thing to do instead of resetting the trap. Or maybe not. Little lift and drop. If I have to bring that back in and refeed it, I lose a good chunk of time. I can't believe there's not another fish there to pick that bait up. Like, am I drawing fish in every time I put that bait in? They're not. Oh, okay. I opened up with a liner. Let's call that a liner. Still with that 5 minute timer running, it's 3 minutes 28 seconds. Said the weather was going to be overcast, but the sun's just bursting through these clouds now. I was watching a video the other day with Callum Dix. Yeah, it was Callum Dix, and he was talking a lot about striking and how much time you lose if you strike your rig out of the water. You know how long it takes you to get fishing again versus if you lift it and just try and control it a lot more. I'm a classic strike out the water. That fish might be bigger than I thought it was. yeah, quite a lot of top anglers do talk about how much time you waste just doing some quite small things over the course of a 5-hour match. If you look now, I've just left my pot, I've turned my pot over, I've left it facing downwards. There's a whole good chunk of video that Paul Holland does about how much time you lose if you then turn your pot back over, then you lift your rig again and then reset your rig as I strike it out of the water. Old habits, you know. So now I'm gonna have a look, right, because I missed the bite last time. I then waited 2 minutes. What's on the clock? 1:23. I waited 2 minutes, and then I got a bite, and it was maybe a liner. I didn't nearly kick it anyway. So I'm only going to give this a minute to 1:23, 2:23, sorry, and then that's going to give me an extra minute with a fresh trap, I think. Let's try and pay attention to this for a bit. I like these sort of things while I'm fishing. Instead of sitting there for 2 minutes without a bite, let's just leave it a minute without a bite and then just reset the trap. Give it a lift and drop, see if I can quickly attract a bite. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just reset. There's so little resistance on this rig. That's what I'm saying. It's because maybe because it's one-handed, I'm not controlling it with the left hand enough. Maybe that's the secret. Now I've just had double missed bites. I do feel like I've got to leave it a little bit longer, and otherwise I think I'm just going to put too much bait in. I don't want tons and tons of F1s in the peg. I want one F1 in the peg, and then I want to just catch it. Don't want liners. Must catch one of those worms again. Actually hooked it. It's like a bloodworm. In fact, I think it is a bloodworm. How are we doing? Everyone alright? So that was an unsuccessful 5 minutes, no fish. Which I'm not happy about. So how are we doing? 5 minutes to go and we've got 32, not 5 minutes to go. Just come out to 2 hours gone. I've got £32 on the clicker now. Starting to catch a few more on this pole line over the course of the last hour, so I'm staying on it. I'm still feeding the bomb line. I'm sort of kind of desperate in one hand to try it. But all the time I think there's some fish here to be had, and they're £3 a piece. I'm not going to come off them. I just missed that bite. Yeah, so I'm just staying on these for a minute. I'm being really careful with the stopwatch. I'm watching it. I'm sort of playing each 5 minutes through in my mind. Same again, you know, if I miss an early bite, I don't want to sit here too long before I reset the trap. If I miss a couple of bites, then I do feel I have to let some time play out before I refeed again. I do not want to overfeed the peg and it just become, you know, all liners. I think I've got it all right, sort of the way I'm doing it at the moment. Mostly 6 mils are going in the pot, and then just sort of 1/3 of the pot's 2 mils, just to cap it off. I'm surprised that those 2 mils don't last long enough to attract another fish in and get another good bite if I miss the first one, but I do think that maybe these F1s just come in and just slurp the whole lot up, like really quickly. So maybe that pot is only good enough for one fish. Anyway, I ramble on. Eyes down. So I missed a bite on 30 seconds then. It's now counted to 2 minutes and I've had no other clean bite. I did have a good thump around the bottom today with a 30 gram plummet. and it was relatively good where I'm fishing. I'm fishing at the bottom of the slope, just into what would be really the deepest part of the peg, and then up to 13 meters it's only to 11 meters it's only like an inch deeper. I did shallow up a little bit, so my bait should just be wafting on the bottom instead of lying on just a little bit. There is a bit of wind, there's a bit of tow. But it could be now that the next time I miss a bite quick, I'm just going to immediately refeed. I'm just thinking this through in my mind while I'm chattering away. Is that 6 pellets plus a few micros, is that just getting demolished by the first fish that comes in? And that's why when I don't hit that bite, I can't get another good clean bite until I refeed again. I don't know, chat, I don't know. Right, that's another 5 minutes or 4 minutes with no fish. See there, I've had a bite straight away, but that's 10 seconds. I've got to sit that back out. Come on fish, come back. You can't have gobbled it all up that quick. Liner. Now I'm 30 seconds gone. Little indication. Tiny, floats only a couple of mil out the water. Tiny little indication. And then a proper bite. And then that's all done in 50 seconds. So yeah, I think if this happens, then I'm just gonna, I lose time, but I don't lose as much time as I do just sitting there. Might fit a few less 8 mil. So I think what's going on in my mind now, just 2 hours in, I've got 32 pound on the clicker and a noisy goose. I'm thinking about writing off that long line. The wind's getting up now, which it was forecast to do. It's blowing from my left to right. It's going to be quite awkward to hold the pole, so I think if I can't stay on this line, it's going to be onto the bomb. And then I'm just going to keep refeeding this line here. And I'm going to forget about that 11 meter line, I think. Just had a small indication there, but if this hits 5 minutes and I've got no fish, then the bomb's going out. I can't justify. As he gets a bite. I can't justify, I'm not going to feed. I can't justify sitting on it. I think it's just the difference between a couple of fish there Well, I don't know what's going on now. I was going to say the difference between a couple of fish and quite a lot of fish. Where more fish, I think you get a positive bite, but you don't want too many. Blah blah blah. Can I have a fish, please? I've talked my way out. I've just talked that sentence into destruction. You know what I mean. I say I want one fish in the peg, but I really want two because I want a little bit of competition. So the one grabs it a little bit more positively. And they don't just play ping pong with my pellet. Right, I'm just going to go slightly to the left. Get on a nice clean bit of lake bed. Come on, fish. Alright, if we're going to rest it for a bit. Out comes the bomb. So, nice shiny 8mm pellet. Let's see. Right. So maybe I just fished it out a little bit. Maybe I caught a few little pocket of fish, and then there's a few odd ones around, but not enough. I don't know. But let's see. If hopefully this bomb line's had what, 2 hours now. It could be solid, or it could be nothing. It's going to be one or the other. I've not fed that long pole line. I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to rest this short pole line and then go back on there, and I think I'll throw some 6mm pellets every 5 minutes, something like that. I've got all of it. Yeah, Jeffrey, I had a look for them up in the water. I don't think that they were. They could have changed, by the way. It's a little liner. But I did just get a shallower rig out and just have a chuck around. But I was missing some bites earlier, and what I had to do was, they just seemed to not really want to be on the line I was on, Top Kit +1, or they were getting preoccupied with the micros. Something like that. And then when I went out on Top Kit +2, that's when I got a cleaner run of bites. Maybe I should have gone to Top Kit +3, but I've fed this bomb line for 2 hours. I do catch fish here on the bomb. There's plenty of carp to be had as well as F1s, so I do need to have a look. Yeah, I think you're right about £100 to win today, Neil. That's what I'd said. I'm £20 behind. It's a lot of people with a lot of room, me included. Another long enough. really what I wanted. That's 5 minutes, no bite. I'll chuck some 6mm back out there. I want this bomb line solid with fish. Now I'm watching a little bit Mark Goddard on the far side. Mark started on the pole, he fished it for quite a long time, and then I saw him chuck the lead out. He's back on the pole again, fishing down the edge. So I think this is going to be quite a critical third hour for me. It's 13 minutes into it already. I do feel like I need a few big carp to get me back in it. Got a goose just to my left. It's been there all day, and his mate just eyeing up my side tray. Don't care, does he? So that's 7 minutes. I would have had a bite or two on that pole line by now. What rod? It's a Daiwa tournament. It's old now. I got this, gosh, when I came back to the UK, so what, 14 years ago I got this. I need to get it re-varnished. The varnish is all going on it. Wow, I was hoping for a good result on the bomb. That's 2 5-minute casts, no fish, no good bites. Too windy for the Waggler, really. Well, I say it's too windy. Doesn't feel right for the Waggler. I wanted some indications and see some signs of fish up in the water, but I haven't seen any. Gonna have one more chuck, I think. No, I don't have an aerity rod, just a pole. So I'm wondering now about feeding the edge line early. Step one of the day, I think. But I have 5 in. A lot of pellets into that line. So there's got to be a few fish that actually get a bite. Right, what did I say to get that bite? I was thinking of fishing the edge line early. It's times like now I do wonder about feeding that longer pole line, but I'm just not sure. Maybe the right thing to actually do is to chase those fish out, maybe go another half section out, see if I can catch fish there, but we'll give it a little rest. See what's on this bomb line, and then when I go back out I'll just quickly replumb a little bit further and then see if they're just pushing their way out into the lake. That's another option that I've got. Or I could just dump 2 kilo ground bait down the edge. There's a certain appeal to the idea of dumping 2 kilo down the edge, by the way. Come on, fish. Liner, I think. Oh, come on, goose. That's twice, just keep my line. Alright, I'm just umming and ahhing. The bomb line doesn't seem to be as good as I wanted it to be, which is unfortunate. So I think we're going to have to think about some other ideas. So I'm going to feed that long pole line. I'm going to feed that edge line early. I'm going to go back on that pole line and I'm going to chase the fish out, if that's what I need to do. I've got a long lash on it, so I can easily go out and recover those couple of inches on that rig. I'll just need to replumb it back dead depth and then follow them out a little bit, or try further out if that's what I've got to do to get a bite. But this is like one fish in 20 minutes now, 25 minutes. Though I do wonder, because the odd liner, should I just chuck the Waggler out a few times? I could do. I don't think it's very deep out there. Certainly when I chuck that bomb in, it's not long till it's hit the bottom. I don't think it's much more than 4 foot. start making plans, I think. So I'm going to have another chuck on that bomb. I just want to quickly feed that pole line for a second. So I'm just going to put a bunch of 6 mils and a few 2 mils on it. Sorry if I'm not being very clear. A bunch of 6 mils and a few 2 mils are going to go on the pole line. Let's just do that now. That's that done. Chuck a few more 6 mils. So 5 more minutes on air, and then I think I'm going to have another look on the pole line short, and then if nothing there, maybe a quick look on the pole line long. I just feel I'm going to be putting some bait down this left hand edge earlier than planned. Oh, it's a little bite, I think. recast that in case it was a bite and I've lost my bait. It's still on. Well, strange, an hour ago it was all looking very good, catching those F1s, and now it's all gone a bit all over the place. But this is where I just need to think about what I'm doing. I'm watching Mark still on the far bank. He's a fantastic angler, Mark Goddard, and he's persistently he's continuing to fish up the margin. I don't see him catching, so he's either struggling and he's trying to set out for some carp, or he's catching and I'm not just seeing it, but I'm not sure he is. So gonna do this 5 more minutes. That's going to take me to what? Just after 22. Just 2.5 hours in. I feel like I'm going to put bait down that left hand edge. So I think I've got to catch carp to get me out of trouble. I feel like I'm in trouble right now. This is a bad third hour and I've missed that bite or that liner. I'm just not sure fish are going to come down the edge early. It's really bright, a couple of foot deep. Let's give this 5 more minutes. Feed the edge. Keep an eye on it. Chuck the Waggler a couple of times. Then the pole. I feel like feeding that edge line just early is just a waste of time. I'm not sure there's a point in it. What do I want to do? I want to go down there and I want to catch 3 or 4 carp, don't I? That was a bite on that bomb line. Right, I'm going to give this till 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go on the bomb line, pole line. I'm going to ignore that bomb line, edge line. I'm not going to feed it early. I don't think there's any point. I don't think, because I feed it early, the carp are going to go, that's fine, Graham, we'll rock up down your edge early. I'm banking on it, I'm hoping on it. Mark's now fishing his other edge. He's a real good barometer of where to go. He's fishing his edge lines, but I don't see him catching. So yeah, leave this till 5 minutes. Don't get another fish, then I'm going to go on that pole line and have another look. If there's no bites after 5 minutes, then I could have a look on the long pole line. I could go back on the bomb, but then I'm in this sort of spiral of not catching, not catching, not catching, not catching scenario. And then I've got another hour and 20 minutes where I'm going to just be doing nothing very successfully, which is a real danger. I wanted this bomb line to go off, that's what I wanted. And it's not. Right. Let's chuck the Waggler around for a couple of minutes. Get the tunnel. Right, there's a no. Wind is a problem. Right, not that rig, that rig. Right, it's all a bit quiet, and I'm a bit quiet. So a little summary of what's going on. I was catching on the pole, and it was quite nice, and then it was starting to go a little bit iffy, and I was overdue on my bomb line, so I went on the bomb line, didn't have a fish for the first couple of casts, then I had a fish, then I went back out, no fish, missed a bite, missed a liner, inconsistent, and I've spent a good part of 45 minutes on that bomb line to catch 2 F1s for a £5. So I've come back off, I've gone back on the pole line. I'm going to go back to where I was. I fed the longer pole line, and now as I'm just sort of talking through what's going on, the wind's got up, and I'm not looking forward to holding the pole in it, but I can't decide whether to stick it out on the bomb. There's a bomb. Stick it out on the bomb, or or to try and go down the ledge early, or type of stuff. But I don't think that going down the edge early is going to be the right thing to do. I don't think so. It's either stay on the bomb, or just fish this pole line and maybe fish it a little bit further out. I don't know. I'm just going to set the timer, see what happens over the next 5 minutes. I think what we'll do is I'll fish the short line, then if there's no I can't get a bite, or I can't get a fish, I just had a bite. But if I can't get a fish, I'm going to go long, and then I'm going to come back short, and then go like push my way out. Should have had a bite, or what that was. I had hoped the bomb line was going to pay off, and it's just not looking like it, but I'm going to still feed it anyway. It's quite a lot of pellets I put out for the last 2.5 hours, so if there's not a lot of fish there, I'm quite lucky to have caught those 2. But the way that I fish the bomb is I feed and then I cast into the feed. So I'm really not against the 2.5 hours worth of feed, only really against the bait I've just put in. I'm not putting it on the same spot all the time. It's not how I fish the bomb. I like to fish in an area. When it's good, it doesn't matter. Fish are all over the place. But yeah, I'm just trying to work this out. Confused. It's gone from good to rubbish. Thrown me in the 3rd hour. Yeah, I only really want to fish for carp down the margin. That's how I want to fish the lake currently. I don't really want to fish it for F1s. Just because there's so many big carp in here. So when I go down there, I just want to dump a load of ground bait and corn. So I had a bite. Took 4 minutes to get a bite, but let's see. So I had a bite, 4 minutes, then the next bite. Let's see how long it takes for the one after that. Bumped it, and go straight back out. It took 40 seconds. I might just come back on this line. You know, maybe I just, you know, caught too many of the mates, but it's the thing about fishing a open water venue with loads of F1s in it. They can just go, see ya. Like a little bit more than a snake lake. So that was a bite, and then I've just had another bite. No fish though. I'll give it another couple of minutes. If I get another one of those and they don't connect, I'm going to feed it again. Oh, maybe. See, Mark's got a fish. I can see Mark's got a fish. It's a little roach. So I think he's fishing big baits down the edge. Okay, that was another bite. Well, bite or liner. Either way, I'm refeeding it, go back out. What is that? What is that? You want a carp? I think it was. It was annoying. I was winning that fight and they just wouldn't get his head up. The more sort of pressure I put on it, just the more the elastic just came out under my feet. Right, so in that 10-minute period, I had, looks like I got hooked to carp and got broken by it, which was strange because I didn't feel like that elastic had bottomed out at that point. I think more it's been nicked on something, I don't know, but let's get back on it. Wish that wind would die down though. So the sun's come out, I can't see anything that's really going on. Just quick update then, that's the 3rd hour done. Not a very good hour, a couple of fish, 3 maybe. Looks like I've lost the carp on the pole line, but start the 4th hour with some fish showing here again on this short line, top kit +2. So I'm just going to focus on that. I'm still going to put some bait on the bomb line. I'm not sure about it though. I'm going to feed the edge line maybe in a minute. Maybe it's a day of unconventional. Not messing about. 3 pots, 250 ml. Ground bait. That's all going in. And then we'll put in a good dollop of corn. It's like just under half a pot of corn. That's a good dollop.